What's up, guys? Welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Final Fantasy XIV video. In today's video is going to be a little bit different from my usual Final Fantasy XIV videos as of late. This is going to be my reaction to the job changes for patch 6.1. So without further ado, let's start the video. First and foremost, it looks like Lucid Dreaming is now available at level 14. I don't know what the big impact of this is because I just don't see a healer running out of MP in the lower levels. Unless they die multiple times. I don't know, but I just don't see the point. Next up is Paladin. We've got Iron Will reducing the recast timer to 3%. This is going to be their tank stance, and yeah, it's down to 3 seconds. Next is Clemency. It looks like they've given this a quality of life thing, which basically it doesn't interrupt action combo. So there was a thing with this, like a Paladin rotation, where you want to finish off all your combos before you actually go to your magic rotation. And yeah, this just helps not to interrupt those, and you can like do it midway through if you really want to be really tight with your 1 minute and 2 minute cooldowns, right? So yeah, I think this is really great. It's something that I didn't mention in my Paladin video, or actually, I don't think I made a Paladin video. I was planning to make a Paladin video, and this is probably one of those things that I noticed and I didn't like about it. But now that they've changed it, it's really, really great. Request Cat, the additional effect grants Blade of Fate ready when the effect of Request Cat ends, has been added with a duration of 30 seconds. So I think this just gives you like 30 seconds to actually pull off the blade combo, right? Instead of the stack itself. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't played Paladin all too much, so I can't really comment a lot on this one, because I'm trying to remember what I do when I was Paladin. After Request Cat, I kind of leave one stack, right? You do leave one stack, and then you use like your blade combos with that. Does this mean it's just like you have like 30 seconds to use it instead of stacks? I'm not sure. I'm sorry, guys. I actually need to get into the game in order to figure this one out. But for any Paladin mains, maybe you can clarify this for me. But I'm sure once the game is up in the next 4 hours or so, I would probably have figured it out. But nonetheless, if you guys can clarify it for me in the meantime, let me know down in the comments below. Holy Circle gets the same treatment as the Holy Spirit in Clemency. Confiteor now restores additional effect, restores HP, has been added with a cure potency of 400. Okay, cool. And yeah, basically everyone gets a 400 potency cure for the whole okay, for the whole combo. That's sustain. That's crazy. It's crazy sustain. This would feel really nice. Divine Magic Mastery now adds a healing effect on to Confiteor. Okay, cool. Buffs, I think, overall for Paladin. Biggest thing for me, quality of life. This, I can't say anything else. Like, these are really, really good. This is nice, but for me personally, I like the quality of life stuff more. Next, Marauder and Warrior. Defiance gets the same treatment. Overpower area effect has been changed from a cone before you to all allies. Sorry, all nearby enemies. So circular AoE around you instead of a conal. I don't know how I feel about this, because personally speaking, I idea of overpower has always been a conal AoE since back in the Realm Reborn. So I've always adjusted myself to make sure my overpower is like for conal. Although my wife would be really happy about this because she was wondering why overpower is conal, not like around you when she does her pulls when she's playing warrior. So I'm sure she'll be happy with that. Inner release, stacks of inner release now only apply to Ffxiv and Decimate. Okay, this is another quality of life thing for me. I don't know if other people have done this, but when I was leveling up my warrior, sometimes I would have pressed something for while I use my inner release, and I end up using a stack of my inner release with that when you only want to use it on Ffxiv or Decimate. So this is really great. You don't have to be worried. You can hold off Ffxiv, like for example, like maybe someone's running behind with the party buffs or something like that. Yeah, and you can just use a regular combo and then use Ffxiv afterwards once the buffs is up or stuff like that. I think that's really great. Yeah, overall buff for me. Dark Knight. Okay, Grit gets the same treatment. Flood of Darkness gets a potency reduction. Okay. Blood Weapon. Now it's a stack instead of 10 seconds. Okay. I think this is something that people have been wanting them to do because Blood Weapon was really tight. With you need certain amount of skill speed or something. Like I said, Dark Knight's probably my least favorite tank, even back when it first came out. So I don't have a lot of things to say about it. But overall, I think this is much better than just like trying to squeeze it in, right? Let me know down in the comments below. Stalwart Soul is now accorded to level 40. Is this the combo for AoE? I think it is. Yeah, I've always wondered why this is so far back in level when I was leveling Dark Knight. Because there's no way to get MP back when you're doing AoE and you're doing big pulls. And you can't use any of your like magic skills because you don't have the MP for it. So you can only ever use it once every pull. Like one rotation, and when you run out of MP, there's no way for you to get MP back. Now with Stalwart Soul in the lower levels, that's great. I think it's great. Really love that. I didn't mention it in my video, but yeah, I think this is really great. Okay, Living Dead. The whole reason why I wasn't a big fan of Dark Knight to begin with. But yeah, and now restores HP with each weapon skill successfully delivered or spell cast. Cure potency of 1500. If the amount of HP totaling your maximum HP is restored before the Walking Dead timer runs out, the effect will now change to Undead Rebirth, with a duration carried over from the time remaining for Walking Dead. While under the effect of Undead Rebirth, most attacks will not lower your HP below 1. Did they just fix Living Dead? Did they just fix Living Dead? Let me know down in the comments below, guys. Dark Knight mains, let me know if they fix Living Dead. Finally. Because my understanding is the Walking Dead buff, or debuff, whatever you want to call it, the timer for you not getting killed just carries over. Whereas before, when a White Mage heals you too quickly, or use Benediction straight away, basically you lose that, and then you basically just die, right? I think they might have. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. I would have loved it. I think one of my biggest thing with Dark Knight as well in my video was the button bloating. I would have liked them for some things to just be fused together. Like, was it Oblation? The one that gives you like a 10% a damage reduction. I would have loved if they just mix that with, you know, Dark Mind or something. Like you get 15% magic damage or something, magic reduction, whatever it is. Just reduce the button bloat on Dark Knight, because there's a lot going on with Dark Knight, at least in my opinion. I'm not a Dark Knight main, but as a casual Dark Knight looking from the outside, there's just so much buttons. You know, there's just so much buttons. I think they can reduce the button bloating for Dark Knight. But again, that's just my opinion. I don't know if you Dark Knight mains want something like that. Let me know down in the comments. Gunbreaker, they just get the tank stance treatment. Monk, perfect balance, can no longer be executed while under the effect of any beast chakra. Okay. A small quality of life thing, I suppose. Yeah. All right. Cool, I guess. Dragoon, their jumps, they mentioned this. Basically, they showed in all the animations, which is great. Now, and then jump and high jump now changes to Mirage Dive while under the effect of... See, they reduced the button bloating for Dragoon, which they have less buttons than Dark Knight already, but they still reduced it. Now I have to memorize my muscle memory when it comes to like Mirage Dives. Oh my goodness. Okay. But something that I notice here is they don't have a shortened animation for the Mirage Dive. They should have reduced the animation, action animation for that as well, shouldn't they? Square Enix waiting for the next patch for another Dragoon buff, but that next time it's only for Mirage Dive. Dragoon always gets something. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's basically it. Ninjas next. Hide now dispels the effect of Doton upon execution. Okay, as a old ninja main, I know the pre-pools have been adjusted for a ninja. So, basically, I guess it's still relevant today. You used to use Doton first, and then use Hide, and then the tanks will pull. And the tanks will pull it to your Doton. It's a small increase in damage, but... You know, when you're starting off really early, especially, you know, on prog, every little bit of damage helps. But now that's gone. Just cut it off. You don't need to do a pre-pull for a ninja. Okay. I guess that's a small decrease in damage, but I don't think it's that much of a big of a deal, okay? Next, something they mentioned in the live letter where, you know, Mug is now the new trick attack. It lasts for 20 seconds, which is okay. Cool. They doubled, obviously, to match trick attack every minute for 10 seconds. Was it 10 seconds, though? Or 15? Was trick attack 15 or 10 seconds? Oh, my God. I don't know if they changed it since I was a ninja main. But anyway, trick attack increases the target's damage taken by 5% has been changed to increase by 10%. Okay. So it's now 10% instead of 5% for trick attack, but it's a personal damage increase. And again, I don't remember if it's 10 or 15 seconds. Oh my God, shoot me. How can I not remember? How can I forget how long trick attack lasts? But anyway, it's overall damage increase. And next is Aeolian Edge. Gets potency increase. Shortened animation for Kichi. The Taunt gets a potency increase, but it has been reduced to 18 seconds. Okay. I don't really have much to say about that. This is another potency increase. Potency increase. Ooh, a potency decrease. Bavakakra. I always very hard time pronouncing this ability. Phantom Kamaitachi gets a potency increase. I think a lot of people have been waiting for this. And Melee Mastery is now acquired to 74, where it was 84 previously. So do they get Melee Mastery 2 now at 84? Because if they're getting that increase in 74, that would be crazy good. Right? Right? That would be crazy good. Okay. Let's move on. Samurai. I really don't have a lot to say about Samurai. Even though I read this to you guys, I really don't have a lot to say because I haven't played Samurai since Stormblood. And I haven't leveled Samurai to 90 yet right now. So, take whatever I say here with a grain of salt. But it looks like to me, just skimming through this, it's a lot of potency increase, right? Potency increase, potency increase, increase. Area effect changed to nearby enemies. For some reason, they're doing this now. They don't like cones anymore. There are no more conals. They're all going to be around you. Potency increase, potency. And the other thing with samurai abilities and weapon skills, to me, even though I like for example Yukikaze, okay, but I don't know what that is. I know it as I actually just use it on my hotbar. Okay, this gives this. It's hard for me to remember what the ability or weapon skill actually is. I don't know if you guys have the same problem as that. If you show it to me on my hotbar and on the skills while you're doing it, I'm like, oh yeah, this gives you that thing. But if you just tell me, okay, what's, Hisatsu Shinten, I'm be like, I don't know, what's that? But if you show it to me, I'm like, oh, it's this and that. So, it's really hard for me to say a lot of things when it comes to samurai. But again, it's a lot of potency increase. And I'm guessing by the potency decrease of Midara Setsugeka. This one I know because this is your finisher. They're just trying to balance out the guaranteed critical hit. Again, not much to say. You can get this at 52. I don't know what it is. But it has a potency decrease, which is okay. You can acquire this 2 levels earlier now. Whatever this is. But yeah, it looks like to me they're just kind of balancing out, okay, we'll give you some potency increase here. And now because this is giving you a guaranteed critical hit, we have to decrease the potency. So I think that's what basically is. I do apologize, but it's just one of those things for me when it comes to samurai. It's hard for me to remember what the skills actually do. And yeah, I need to actually have a separate window and telling me what they actually are. I do apologize, but let me know, samurai mains, if this is, if the potency increase and decrease will help you out overall. Let me know down in the comments below. I'm sure this needs a lot of testing before you guys can make a proper opinion of it. But overall, to me, it looks like some buffs here and some decrease here just to balance things out. Reaper, Hell's Ingress and Egress, increased duration of Harp from 15 to 20 seconds. Cool, I guess. Action animation has been shortened for all of them. Cool, I guess. I still don't like it. It's probably my most hated gap closer out of every gap closer that we have. Yeah, don't know how many times I've killed someone with this gap closer. But hopefully, maybe with the animation shortened, maybe that will, you know. But I still don't like it. It's probably the only thing I don't like about the Reaper. Moving on, Bard, repelling shot. Range has been increased from 5 to 15 yalms. Activation time has been adjusted to match that of other backstep actions. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm guessing this is like the amount of yalms you're moving back instead, right? Instead of like how far you can actually use this. At least I would think so. Like, imagine using repelling shot from very far away. I think so. Anyway, moving on. Battle voice no longer requires the effect of Mage's Ballad, Army's Peon, or the Wondrous Minuet to be active. I guess this is a quality of life thing. Because you need a song to activate Battle voice. If you die and you don't have a song handy and the 2-minute cooldown thing is finishing and you want everyone to actually still get the buff, you can use Battle Voice now. Wondrous Minuet action now changes to pitch perfect upon execution. Another bottom bloat issue that I feel like Bard just has enough. I don't think Bard has too much, but okay. Bottom bloating thing again to reduce button bloating, but this is gonna be a little bit difficult with my muscle memory because I got pitch perfect on a different hotkey. But yeah, okay. I suppose I can live with it. But yeah, that's all right. Machinist, another job that I haven't leveled to 90, and I don't really have much to say on. Just looking at it, it's just potency increase across the board. So that's an overall buff, but I don't know if that fixes what Machinist mains are been asking for. Please let me know down in the comments below. It is still a buff. Dancer. Standard step action is now categorized as a weapon skill. And it looks like every single dance step is now a weapon skill as well. Now this is, to me, great. Because as a Reaper main, my Arcane Circle, I want stacks from everyone. And sometimes our dancer, or my wife is the dancer, unfortunately is dancing, and I don't get my my stacks, right? I mean, eventually I will get it, but sometimes, with the whole opener thing, I had to adjust when to change or when to use my plentiful harvest and stuff like that. And then she changed her rotation, so she would be using weapon skills earlier. This just fixes that. It's for more synergy, more than actual buff to the dancer. It's more synergy buff with other jobs. You can think of it as with monk as well. Like for their brotherhood, while the dancer is dancing, the monk doesn't get anything out of the dancer. So this just gives it more synergy with other jobs. Next, Cascade. Additional effect, 50% chance of granting Flourishing Symmetry has been changed to 50% chance of granting Silken Symmetry. What? Are they just changing the name of the buff? I'm so confused. Because it's this one's the same. Flourishing Flow. Instead, it's now a Silken Flow. Was there something about Dancer with Flourish? I don't play Dancer a lot. But there must be something wrong with Flourish. These are Flourish buffs, I'm guessing. But they're changing it. I can't really say a lot about it. Players can still receive effect of Flourishing Symmetry and Flourishing Flow from the Flourish action. I thought they were all one and the same. Obviously, I don't main Dancer, so I'm not really sure what this is. But Technical Step is categorized as a weapon skill. I can't comment on this, on like these changes. Let me know down in the comments what it really means, because I thought they were pretty much one and the same. Next, let's just move on because there's nothing I can say about that. Summoner, okay. Ruby Ruin. Recast time has been increased from 2.5 to 3 seconds. And it's across the board, with potency increases added to them. Now, I'm not a summoner main, but I don't like this. I don't like the feel of Ifrit and Ruby. It's so slow to cast and get your abilities off. You're just standing there for longer than a Black Mage. Sometimes it feels like. But this is recast time, not casting time. So my feeling to this is you don't use Swift Cast with Ruby anymore because it's 3 seconds, 3 whole seconds, where you could just cast it for 2.5 or less than 2.5 seconds. I don't get it. For me, it seems like you're just you have like wait. So it's not casting time; it's recast time. So your casting time still about 2.3 or whatever seconds you have. So you have like 0.5 seconds of not doing anything? Question mark? Or you weave something in between, like, you know, the gap closer for a summoner. Is that what you do during that 0.5 seconds? Maybe. Okay. If it's like that, then I can get along with it. Okay, sure. But I'm still not a huge fan of just increasing the recast time. But hey, who am I? I'm not a summoner main. Next is Searing Light. So this is now directly from the caster, not from Carbuncle anymore. Ruby Disaster. It's again increasing the potency, increasing the increasing the recast timer. And Ruin Mastery potency for Ruby Right has been changed from 450 to 510. Great. Now Carbuncle only has one use, which is the shield, which I don't know why they just did it. Oh my god. At this point, just you don't need Carbuncle that much. I'm sure the shield is still very useful, though. It's still very good. But nonetheless, Carbuncle is getting more and more irrelevant in a way. Red Mage displacement animation has been shortened. Okay. White Mage used to be my main back in Shadowbringers towards the end of it. Okay, so MP reduction across the board. Yes. Arrow has increased duration 30 seconds. The same thing with Arrow 2. But these are all low-level stuff. Stone 2, Arrow 2. Where's my glare? Where's the glare? And the dot. I forgot what the dot is. What the name of the dot is. But It looks like just in the lower levels, you just have reduction for MP, but it doesn't look like they've changed it for glare or anything. So, okay. That still hasn't solved the MP issues, I suppose, but we'll have to go through the rest. Asylum, we know it's getting a 10 yalms increase. Secret of Lily, time for Lily is added to the healing gauge, has been reduced from once every 30 seconds to once every 20 seconds. That's really good. I'm up for that. That's really, really good. Does that line up with Sage, with the Edgar's Skull or whatever it is? I think it does. It lines up like, okay, you get 20 seconds, but they still don't get a full Lily at the start of the fight. I suppose because of this one. Okay, cool. I would have loved it if they have full lilies at the start, but I don't know. Stone 3, same thing. Oh, actually, no. Excuse me. It's a potency drop rather than anything. And MP is drop as well. And Stone 4 has a potency decrease. But no MP decrease. So that's a thing. That's a thing. So we aren't going to get a glare MP cost reduction. Okay. Latest Misery, potency increase. Okay. Reduction potency after the first enemy increased from 25 to 50%. Okay, so it's not much of a big AoE thing now, but this is the magic number that people, when I was playing White Mage, people didn't really like using this because they didn't like using lilies as a heal, because unless they really have to, in a way, because it's a DPS loss, because it uses a GCD rather than an OGCD, which something I think I mentioned in my White Mage video, that like the lily stuff, they could just make it OGCD and they don't have to worry about this potency increase. But now that it's still a GCD, this kind of neutralizes the DPS loss from just using glare. So I think overall they've kind of fixed it. Again, I think the Lily stuff, personally, I would like the Lily abilities to be OGCD, but that's just me. But they kind of fixed it. Lethargy of the Bell. Okay, so this is, you can trigger it a second time, healing you big heals depending on how much stack you have. So in my video, the problem was MP management, and it doesn't look like it's really solved. They solved it in a way, right? In a roundabout way that you don't actually just see it for yourself. So the way I'm getting this is they're trying to fix the MP issues by reducing the amount of time you get lilies. So you can use lilies to basically heal instead of using your heals with MP costs. So you're using all your lily abilities most of the time, because now it's not a DPS loss to actually use that, because you get a Ffxiv Misery increased potency, thereby helping with the MP management. I hope you guys got that. It's a roundabout way of like reducing the MP usage for White Mage, but at the same time, you don't see it, right? It's a roundabout way. At the same time, it kind of, well, fix the potency issues with that Ffxiv Misery. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's night shift brain right now. But yeah, it's a roundabout way to fix it. Anyway, let's move on. Scholar. I think it's getting the same treatment. MP reduction, embrace, increase the range. Bio has the reduction as well for the MP costs. Again, this is not high, like max level stuff for these MP reduction. Sacred Soil, we know it's now 10 yalms. We know that. Expedient, we know that it's now 10 seconds for the speed buff instead of 20. Astrologian, the dot is now 30 seconds, which is great. Sage. Why do they need to do something with Sage? MP reduction. Okay. Cool. Soteria. Now grants 4 stack of the Soteria effect. Increase from 50 to 70%. Soteria is... Before I change to Reaper. Sage was my main, so I should know this. I think this is the buff that you use to increase your healing effects when you're attacking. So your partner gets more heals from you attacking. And it had about, was it 10 seconds of buff or 15 seconds? I think it was pretty short. So now it's a stacking effect. Okay, so you got 4 stacks again. All right, cool, I guess. I think this is an overall buff because now you have the 4 stacks. And hopefully it doesn't fall off until you use all 4 stacks. And that way you can heal in between. Like if you need a party heal, you don't feel bad about just trying to, damage something so you can just heal the tank. So yeah, I think it's an overall buff. I mean, you get a potency increase as well. So there you go. Adder Sting. Ooh. I mentioned this in my video, Adder Sting. I hate how to get Adder Sting. Now, gain maximum stacks of Adder Sting upon entering an instance or restarting an instance battle. Bruh. What? You get max Adder Sting at the start? Bruh. Do you really need to do that? I don't think that's my way of fixing it. My way of fixing it was when your shield falls off, at least you still get an Adder Sting. That's my fix for it. Not give a whole stack of Adder Sting. You might as well give a blood lily to White Mage to begin with. Give a blood lily so you can use the Ffxiv misery. Okay. I suppose that's not fair because the Ffxiv misery is actually a higher potency than, Toxicon. Toxicon has the same potency as Dosis, so except for the AoE effect, obviously. Okay. I think that's really powerful. But it still doesn't fix the issue in how you get Adder Sting. Just my thing. My opinion. New traits. Looks like Ninja, like I guess, gets a melee mastery too. And then Samurai gets more potency increase. Oh, this is just traits. Okay. Cool. And we don't have Hisatsu Kaiten anymore. Whatever that is. I know for Samurais that's one of the big things. I'm not entirely sure. Sorry. I do apologize. I don't know. But yeah. Those are my reaction for the buffs. And if/nerf. Yeah. The only thing I really can't comment a lot about is Samurai. I do apologize because it's really hard for me to sort of get through to my head. Like the different kinds of ability names and what they do. But it looks like to me they were just balancing it out. And the other thing is for Dancer, these changes, I'm not 100% sure about. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the balance changes. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about these changes. Obviously, If you can help me out with some of my misunderstandings down in the comments below, I would appreciate it. But at the end of it all, I think it's an overall buff to a lot of jobs. There are some things I would still like to see, but which I've already mentioned, but that's basically all the job changes for patch 6.1. Then that's it for this video. Remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help the channel, guys, and I would really appreciate it as well if you can share this video. And of course, follow me on Twitter and on Facebook at Munchkins Gaming. This is Munchkins logging off. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next level.